So what you're going to be doing today is you're going to be doing two techniques. You should fold your paper in half, hamburger style, short edge to short edge, like this, and then unfold it so that you can see two smaller rectangles. First thing you need to do is the materials you're going to have, of course, is an organic brush. You're going to have a half-filled water tray and an empty tray where you will mix up your paint. So the first thing you need to do is either gently squeeze out some water so that it just barely fills up the bottom, or you could just simply pour in a little bit, but it shouldn't fill more than the bottom of this tray. It shouldn't start filling up the side. Just a little bit of water will do. Put your brush into the water. Using a dark color, rub the bristles of the paintbrush, and you can tilt the pigment square so that as you rub the bristles, you're trying to coax or drip the paint that you are making by rubbing the bristles filled with water against the pigment square, so that it drips into the paint tray that you are mixing up. You're mixing up watercolor paint. So I'm going into the paint tray, I'm rubbing against the bristles, and then I stir. And I repeat this, at least a dozen times until I get a pretty strong amount of color. Like, I want it to be saturated, not faint or weak color. I don't want it to be very faint. Okay, once I feel like I've got enough, I'm tilting the square into the paint. Now, you're going to use gravity. You're going to use gravity to help you. And on one half of the paper where it's folded, I'm going to tilt up the paper a little bit. I'm going to do a flat wash. So I'm going to get the paint, I'm going to stir it, and then I'm going to, at the top of the edge of the paper, where I've tilted the edge of the paper, I'm using gravity so that this bead of paint the gravity pulls it down the paper so that you have a light touch. You can see the bead of paint where gravity pulls it. If I need to get more paint, I get a little bit of paint in my bristles, and then I continue. I'm trying to make an even, flat coating of color that does not change value, meaning it doesn't get lighter or darker. If I wanted to make this more blue, I would add more pigment to the paint. It would make it more saturated with blue color. If I wanted to make a lighter value of blue, I would add more water to my paint. But what I'm trying to achieve is a flat, even coating of color that does not change. I'm going to fill up this entire half of the paper with watercolor paint with an even coating of paint. When I get to the bottom edge where I filled up the vast majority and I've got an even color, you're going to see that bead of paint there. You don't want that there. So what you got to do is you got to squeeze out your bristles into your paint gently. Squeeze the bristles, not pulling them out of the metal. Once your brush is squeezed out and it doesn't have a whole lot of paint in, run it against that bead and it soaks it up like a mop. Squeeze out any extra paint. Maybe go over it one more time to make sure you didn't miss any paint that needs to be absorbed. That is a flat wash.